It's spooky season! Today, we're talking about a game that fits the season so well. Little Nightmares. Today we're going to be talking about 1 and 2, what I really enjoyed about these games, and was there anything that I didn't enjoy about these games? I don't think so. Little Nightmares just has really good everything. Let's start with Little Nightmares 1. Little Nightmare 1 follows the story of Six, a little girl trapped on a vessel named Ma. She is on a journey to escape said vessel. She's hungry, she's tired, and all she has is a lighter. Said lighter can be used for various things. Basically, you're just going through this dark, expansive world trying not to get eaten by the inhabitants. These ghoulish creatures that own this vessel. Little Nightmares 2 follows the story of Mono. Mono is a boy who, like Six at the Little Nightmares ones, is just trying to find his way. He's not hungry, he's not tired, but he does meet up with Six at the very beginning of the game. And they escape their situation and end up in the Pale City. They can either find their way to a safe spot in the city, or find out the secrets of said city. There is a very big secret at the end of Little Nightmares 2. We're not going to get into it because that is something that honestly should be played to feel. But I will talk about the gameplay. Little Nightmares is a horror game, but it's told in such a way that it makes you feel the horror in such a way. Little Nightmares isn't about the jump scare. It's about the confinement of trying to run around the world that is bigger than yourself. Little Nightmares reminds me of the Toy Story movies. Little Nightmares is something similar, but it also has this added benefit of being a 2.5D side-scroller. Not a full 3D, 2D. You're allowed to move your character back and forth, but in a very limited space. You're allowed to go as forward as possible, as backwards as possible, but the up and down is limited to the space that you're in. And oh, does it limit you in such a magnificent way. You could probably start your scene trapped in a pipe, but the pipe leads into a bigger room, but you're underneath the floorboard. Peeking up, you can see, let's say, the kitchen, and you're allowed to see or plan your route out, but the actual execution of getting through this maze is a whole nother thing. Getting through Little Nightmares is all about the intuition, all about your not second-guessing yourself and just knowing the right way of doing it. You can have trial and errors, but for the most part, the way that you think you're supposed to solve the puzzle is usually how you are going to solve the puzzle. Is there a trapdoor and do you need the key? Well, yes, you have to go find the key. Is there a lever that needs to be cranked but the lever is somehow missing? Well, you gotta go find that lever. Is there a pulley system that is swinging back and forth and you just need to time your jumps perfectly? Absolutely, that is definitely a part of this. Along with the verticality, along with the 2D, the 2.5-ness of this game, it's just the atmosphere. Everything about Little Nightmares is detailed, and it should. It honestly should be detailed. There doesn't seem to be anything here that is out of place. For the most part, everything in each of these unique scenes and situations, it all ties back into an overarching story. And the funny thing about the story is that it doesn't tell you the story. Little Nightmares doesn't care about telling you anything. In the very beginning of the game, it doesn't even try and show you the instructions of how to play the game. You can either press escape and pull up like the big controls list, or if you don't even want to go there, you just figure out the keys. So the story is told through the atmosphere, through the details. Perfect example, at the very beginning of Little Nightmares 1, you see a butcher chopping up children. Very disturbing. Or wrapping up children. And you notice all the shoes scattered about. And then you realize it's all the children's shoes. And then you fall into a pit and it's all shoes. And at first you don't realize it. But then after you think about it for a second, you realize that, oh my god, that is a lot of children. Wow. It gives you this sense of this world is not inviting. And then you make your way through the world and you see when you first arrive on the ship, when you first are placed on the ship and taking control of 6, you don't fully realize that you're on a boat. Or let's say in Little Nightmares 2, where at the very beginning of the game you play as Mono and you're wandering around the woods and you don't fully know where you're going, but you see traps on the ground, so you pick up a stick and you throw it at the trap. Everything starts to explode, and then you wander even further, and then you make your way into the house and you see that this house, those traps outside, belong to this person who obviously is trying to collect children. Little Nightmares 1 is only a 2-hour game. It's a very sit down, play it, and enjoy type of game. Don't overthink it too much. It's not one of those games where you can delve into the lore, even though there's a bunch of stuff that can just be like, does this have a reference? Does that have a reference? It all has a reference. Little Nightmares 2 is more of a 6 to 8 hour game, depending on how good or bad you are. I feel like Little Nightmares 2 is just a whole lot better than Little Nightmares 1 because it's a fully fleshed out world, where Little Nightmares 1 was more of just getting through the mission and trying to scramble your way through. Little Nightmares 2 is more of a thought out, planned out, where are we going and where is this taking us? If you're enjoying today's video, do consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.